Helen Hunt first came out to our Marpole community volleyball team. She had been playing with the alums and decided that she wanted to join our team. I had already seen Helen play volleyball because she was a star with the alums who had already done well in the Canadian Championship. We had Dr. Thomas Tutko, who was a famous sports psychologist from San Jose, do a personality profile on all of our players. And he said, I want to meet this Helen Hunt. I said, why is that? He said, because she has the highest score I've ever seen on mental toughness. And Vic, I have done the recordings with NFL football players, basketball players. This lady has the highest mental toughness score.
Helen was an exceptional athlete, strong. We, those little junior weaklings, had never seen anybody so strong and coordinated. She had springs in her legs. At 5'8½", she could touch the basket rim every time. She hit hard, really hard. And you could count on her to put the ball away every time. Helen, suspended in the air, waited for the ball to indent and stamp Mikasa on the competitor's floor whenever we needed to put that ball away, stat. There was never any question in her mind that we could, should, and would win all the time. The competitive gleam in her eye let you know that anything else was simply unacceptable. Yet Helen never blamed anybody else for her errors, ever. And despite all that, she was fun. I've laughed my head off for years with her.
Helen made a great contribution to volleyball, not only as a player, not only playing on Canada's national team, but she also became a referee. But it was Helen who we could always set the ball to, and we knew that there was a good chance that ball would be put away.
Helen, congratulations on this well-deserved award. I'd also like to thank Volleyball BC, and particularly Mark Lindell, who nominated Helen for this award.
It is a great honor to be inducted into the BC Volleyball Hall of Fame. And I want to thank Vic Lindahl for nominating me, and Mark Lindahl for nominating the Kelowna's team, of which I'm a member. I'm very grateful also to those who wrote letters on my behalf, because I know you had to, in order for me to be considered. You know, I see very, very many familiar faces here tonight, and you have been associated with volleyball for 50 years. It's amazing, and you are the reason why volleyball is hugely successful today. You've been managers, coaches, administrators, some of you players all that time, but mostly not. I loved playing volleyball. I just loved it. I had come from a background of swimming, where you are pretty much on your own while competing, and your teammates are your rivals. In volleyball, there were teammates who shared my passion for the sport and had the same goals. We depended on each other to make the team successful, and that was the difference. We worked hard and became a formidable opponent. We disliked losing. I started playing volleyball in 1962. I had been transferred from my elementary classroom to Vancouver Tech High School to teach PE. So I had to learn to play power volleyball. I had played volleyball in elementary school on my grade 6 school team. There were 9 players per side. You could hit the ball twice. Once you did an underhand boost, and then you could do an overhand pass to another player or over the net. It was very crowded. And this was a badminton court, too. So. An ad in the paper invited volleyball enthusiasts to a play night on Thursdays at UBC. And I'm sorry that Marilyn Pomfret's not here tonight, but she was the one that invited people out to get together and play. So somehow I got onto Mary McDonald's team of city PE teachers, because after all, I was one of them now. And I was happy to play with her. We were called the Alums, and after much practice and a very steep learning curve, we won the Canadian Championships at Winnipeg in 1964. We won again in 1966 in Calgary, but in 1965 we lost to Vale Savages, Toronto team. I had 3 really exceptional coaches, each of whom brought something special to their team, like innovation, inspiration, and the belief in winning. Mary McDonald was my first coach. She taught me the basics as well as the 1-foot takeoff, which I see is in use again now. I think they call it a slider, don't they? Mary had it perfected. She was a surefire spiker, a perennial all-star, and an excellent coach and leader who had arrived in BC, developed the alums team in a matter of months, and took us to championship play, rivaling her Toronto teammates. Vic Lindahl was coaching a junior team at the Marpole Community Centre. Some of us alums joined his group in 1966, and we were swept up by his enthusiasm, his passion, and his drive. He taught me new techniques and strategies, such as the 6-0 system, which Vic reinvented, with the setter coming up into the left side of the front row. Despite this new invention, which nobody said would work, Marpole Community Centre won the Canadian Championship in 1967 in Toronto. Many of us represented Canada that year at the Pan Am Games in Winnipeg. The following year, we were renamed the Renfrew Community Centre because they gave us gym time. And we won the Canadian Championships in 1968. I didn't play in '69. They won without me. Shelley Stewart Hunt was born in February, so I couldn't do any serious training until the summertime. That's when Vic made me jump the stairs all the way around the UBC gym bleachers. Of course, he had to do it every day too. Otherwise, I might have stopped. We were both in great jumping shape for the start of the new season. In 1969, Vic sweet-talked a generous sponsorship out of Herb Capozzi, owner of the Kelowna Wines. Kelowna's won the Canadian Championship 69, 70, and 71, but Carol Bishop will tell you more about their accomplishments. Cali, Colombia, hosted the 71 Pan Am Games, and many of us competed with Victor as coach and Art Wilms as assistant coach. In 1972, Art created the Chimos Volleyball Club, which won the national championship 72, 73, 74, 75, and 77. Art expanded our international experiences. In 1973, for example, we went to East Germany in April for a 2-week exhibition tour, China and Japan for a month in May, Tijuana, Mexico in the summer to qualify for the World Championships, and in September we went to the World Championships in Montevideo, Uruguay. It was a very busy year. Most of the Chimos were selected for the 1976 Olympic team. I played again with Chimos in 1977, and we were fortunate enough to win the Nationals again. I have many warm memories from my 15 years competing in volleyball. We spent a lot of time together, practicing 3-4 times a week, traveling and competing in tournaments, training at camps, performing at international events. Our success and endurance, I think, reflected our shared mission and close friendship. Carol Bishop and I have been close friends for 53 years. She has practically been a member of my family. Dr. Shirley Rushton, who is here tonight, was the team doctor for the 71 Pan Am Games in Cali, Colombia. She also kept us well in China in 1973. She's here tonight with her husband, Tony Chebiar. My godson, Doug McLennan, is here tonight. He is the son of Don McLennan, who was BC Volleyball Association president for many years, and an elite player, and the coach of the 1975 Canada Games winning BC team. Vic Lindahl and I have been friends for 55 years. You all know that he is just as passionate about volleyball now as he was in the 1960s. Thank you for this honor and for this lovely evening of meeting old friends.